participants, so you can keep track of what comes next from the congregation itself. I mean, they have the announcements.
I've signed up for dessert for
And some of the ingredients of the service, not in the order of worship.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily probably.
Oh, no.
When Teen Challenge was
Exactly,
here,
that's a giveaway.
the gal, we were talking to the group, she wasn't sure when to start. So I said, well, when does the class start? I said, well, the class starts at 10:30. Well, why are all the people still walking around? Welcome to California. Welcome to the class, everybody.
Well, Doug Joe has to spread his charm.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to have.
This is my charm. That's all I have to offer you.
And that's really from
And this
Steve.
you'd rather have apple?
That's really from Steve, that's good.
Would your wife want one as well?
No, thanks. Too many calories.
No. Can you catch?
You will see on the screen here, periodically you'll see this sign. And this sign represents the signal strength that I'm getting for the computer. And down here is the local network, the church local network here. And you'll notice this will keep switching because it's being used here. It's being used a lot here. And you can see the signal strength down here in the corner. Much. So I talked with Time Warner, and they fixed me up with an independent system, which I run right now, which is that one right there. And it's constantly looking for one or the other here. So I don't use the church system anymore. So we should have better internet connection. And so far it's worked
Now,
really
does
well.
that mean that there's no 4G signal?
Yeah, it can't detect any 4G signal in this area.
What's the difference between a 4G and a 3G?
Well, that's the amount of gigahertz of bandwidth available. And so this has worked out quite well. Another thing that I have been doing, we'll jump right in and use the internet since that's what.
Okay, I came in the door.
Come on in.
I don't know.
There's good food in
Safe or something?
Good for you.
I thought you said, is it safe?
Safe. Oh, is it safe? Yeah, that too, is it
It's
safe?
safe and it's safe.
Okay.
This is what he asked me to do.
You should introduce them.
Yes, do it.
I forgot their names.
Oh, that's John.
It's not them,
It
like
is
as
John.
in them.
Yay.
It's not them.
The cup.
It's no.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
It's not that. If you think that, maybe I should move over there.
No.
That's not what's happening.
Tell us your names.
I'm Melinda, and I brought John over today. He said he was interested. He was looking for a church, and then he came in here with me.
We can vouch for John.
And I've never been in something like this, so you'll have to train me how to
No,
act.
you just have to sit there and listen to Doug Cullen.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
we will guide you.
before. Go for it.
It's kind of casual.
Relax and enjoy the ride.
She's a ding-a-ling.
Don't watch us on how to act, 'cause Well done.
Okay, so if you go over to the website, the class website at BibleChef.com or breakfastwiththebible.com, and if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see that I've installed a website-specific search engine now. I worked that out with Google, and so if you're looking for something on the website, you go, gee, where's that recipe that we had on the stew, or where's the story of Isaac, or something like that. You don't want to look through the entire website. You can type in specific words, and then we'll bring it up for you. And it's only this website that it will search. It doesn't search the entire internet. If you want to search the entire internet, you can click on Google down here, and it'll take you back over to the general search engine. Okay. And this is a little note right here. On the 27th, we're going to have our missionary friend Terry. He's excited to be our guest speaker on the 27th. talking about the U.S. Center of World Missions, where he works and what he's doing there. Interesting Jewish artifact today. It's the interesting thing about artifacts, you know, when you first look at them, you go, my goodness, I wonder what the history is on that. I wonder who held that, you know? How far does that go back? It looks really old. It looks like it's made out of copper. It looks like it's probably hand tool. And it even has some words on it. Looks like Hebrew. It starts with an S. Shem.
Shalom.
Shalom. Pretty good. That's right. But what would a cup like this be used for? It's kind of big. This is a special kind of cup.
Water.
Grape juice.
Grape juice. That was Prophet Isaiah. And I was walking through the desert. Met my friend here, my friend Ed. And we were talking, and I said, "Boy, I'm hungry." And he said, "Yeah, I am too. Let's go get something to eat." So we find a tent where they're cooking food. Go marching in there, and before we go actually up to the table, whoa, Ed, can't go right on in. You're ceremonially unclean. It's been out in the desert. It's dirty. So you need to wash before you eat, right? Well, here's our water. What happens when Ed puts his hands in that water?
Now the water is ceremoniously unclean.
There you go. So instead of having Ed put his hands in there, say, "Go ahead, Ed, now wash your hands." It's a washing cup. Also play a trick on somebody who's asleep, too.
No, Jerry.
Have you guys had this?
He doesn't even drink food.
What are all the berry jokes?
Doug, the other morning at 6:30, you hear a buzz. And somebody was emailing us at 6:30 in the morning.
Me? Not me. 6:30 in the
It
morning?
was, I think it was your son Doug did.
Oh, that Doug? Oh, wrong Doug.
Pick a Doug.
But it could be possible.
Okay, well, the food we have today is a little different than what I had put in the bulletin. And the reason for that is, as I'm working through the cookbook, Cooking with Scripture cookbook, I came across a really old Jewish, traditional Jewish recipe. And I want to have in the recipe book, I want to have as many of the pictures, my pictures, as possible in it. A lot of pictures on the internet are not going to have a copyright on them, so it's okay to use them, but I prefer not to. I have the opportunity to take my own. I do. And so this dish is called mansaf. A little different. Now, in preparing the food, you're going to use, of course, I'm going to get out my trusty knives. Everybody knows what a chef's knife looks like, right? Who doesn't know what a chef's knife looks like? You know what a chef's knife? This is basically a chef's knife. Sometimes there's some that are a little longer and a little shorter. Sometimes they come more to a point on the top than on the bottom. Came across an interesting chef knife from Damascus. Where's Damascus?
Syria.
Syria.
North
good for chopping because you can see my hand is so much lower than the blade down there. So when you're doing this kind of business, you're whacking your fingers. Pass this around.
Share sheet
Look at it.
with it. Share sheet with that.
It kind of looks that way, doesn't it? And the thing on it is a custom sticker on there. There you go.
There you go.
Anyways,
Is it balanced for throwing? No, it's real heavy in the handle. Well,
okay, for this particular dish, it generally calls for having a whole chicken, and I just stick with the whole chicken thing for the class, because most people, they don't care for all the different types of meat in there, and I just go for the breast fillets. Each of these packages, they contain about 4 of the fillets, and you never know how many people are going to be in the class. I know it's going to be 5 or 15. So what I ended up doing is when we boil it or poach it for about 45 minutes, and then I chopped it up, nice big chunks. And set that aside. It's just boiled in water. A little bit of salt added to it. Now, with this recipe, generally I don't put much salt and pepper in it. That's why I put salt and pepper in front of you, because people are on special diets. So after you get done poaching the chicken for 45 minutes, take it out, let it cool, chop it into chunks, set it aside. Next thing you're going to do is the rice. There's a couple different types of rice that you can use. For the class, I assume you can use either one of these, any kind of long grain rice will work. I got a picture of the chicken here. There they are. Whoa. I really hate poaching them though. It just seems like roast them. But, going for tradition here. So traditionally, they're poached. You can do the steps either way. Doesn't matter, because you're ended up with 3 different things at the end there. You ended up with you've got your chicken, your poached chicken. You got that set aside. Now it's chopped, set aside. The next thing I actually did was the rice, and I boiled the rice. Now that's done. Set that aside. Now you're going to make the sauce that kind of brings everything together. And this is about a quart of plain yogurt with 1 egg, 1 large egg. And that's mixed together, and then it's put over heat. Now, how many of you made old-fashioned pudding? You remember the pudding? You just stir and stir and stir. And that's all you're going to do for the rest of the afternoon, I think. I know it's not that long, but it just seems that long when you're a kid. You just stir. Is it ready yet, Mom? Is it ready yet? It's kind of like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? It just, and it does take about 20 or 30 minutes to get this, because what happens is you mix this together, you put it on a low heat. If you put it on a high heat, you'll scorch it. It has to be a low heat. And what you're trying to do is bring it to a light boil, and it starts to just get thick. Well, that's going to take about 20 or 30 minutes to just stir this stuff. So,
that's just yogurt and an egg.
just yogurt and an egg. That's all there is to it. And you just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Once it's thick, then we're going to take it. Got a picture of it. Yeah. Once it gets thick,